There is nothing like longing for a mother's love. Even when you're experiencing the hits as a woman and you go throughout life and you think that you're grown and you just want to say, I just want to come to my mama. I want to lay at my mama's feet. I want my mother to pray for me. I want my mother to protect me. But not every warrior has a mother's love, and it caused some wounds in your heart. It caused some wounds in your soul. It caused some wounds that you got to mend and you have to heal. And in this episode, you are going to learn how to heal from the wounds inflicted by your mother. It's okay. Your mother didn't know. She didn't know who she birthed. She didn't know the warrior woman that you are. And no longer will you hold yourself hostage, but it is time for you to heal. Are you ready? Because this woman that's going to come before you is going to have a powerful story that is going to bless you like never before. Let's get ready and let's heal.
Who am I as the woman? I am radical, relentless, and real because I am on a mission to heal the souls of God's people. I am a spiritual leader, a life coach, and an author. But most of all, I am a warrior fighting for my legacy. I face so many challenges, shares of betrayal, rejection, abandonment, all that left me wounded mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. Yes, life left me broke, busted, and disgusted. But despite all those odds, divorces, emotional damage, as well as despair, I did the work to heal my soul so that I may birth forth miracles and live prosperously. I am not new here. I grew here, and now is your time to grow. I am Dr. Dunamis D, and I am here to guide you on your journey of healing and transformation. Well, here we are again for another episode of the Healing for My Soul podcast. And this, you all, I'm telling you, get ready. As TD Jakes would say, get ready, because it's going to be live. Because I have an awesome woman here, and I'm going to tell you more about her. But I want to get to the topic, because the topic is we're going to be talking about is healing from the wounds of our mother. All right. And so we all have them, because our mother is a woman, and she is a woman who was hurting, and she oftentimes and a lot of times didn't even know what to do. I don't know what to do. You didn't know what to do. So we're not here to pass any judgment. But I got to say this to you before I go on, because I want to introduce myself just a little bit more in depthly so you can understand how I'm going to enter in. I am not only the co-owner of Dunamis Woman Enterprise, but I am the founder. And we have an awesome array of people in our Dunamis Woman community right there in Facebook, where they come in because their hearts need healing. We have healing challenges. And so women are coming in with a myriad of wounds, a myriad of scars and bruises. And one of those women out of the 100,000 plus that are there is this beautiful woman that you see sitting here, which is how I met her, because she came in because of healing that was needed in the depths of her soul. And like none other, you all, here she is, the one and only Alice Belle. Alice, how are you?
I'm great.
Good. Don't be looking at them. Look at me.
I'm great.
Okay, so you came into Dunamis Woman community, which is how I met you, based upon a healing challenge. And I want to lay a foundation before we really get into the healing, the wounds of your mother. So what was really going on in your soul that causes you to say, I need to come to this healing challenge? And what was it?
It was because God has been calling me and dealing with me, and there was nobody, Pastor D, that understood what God had done for me by sparing my life. And as I told people the story of coming out of domestic violence, living on a machine for 11 days, and there was nobody to take me to the depths or the heights of which what God had told me to do. So I would study for a little while, and then I would be rebellious, or I knew the powers that I had, but I had no guidance.
Okay. And when you heard the sound, what did you hear? That you said, I want to come into Dunamis Woman community, and I want to be with this crazy woman, which is myself.
Because I saw so much in me.
Okay. And so what we have a tendency to do is to see so much in who a woman is as a mother, but we don't oftentimes know what to do with it within ourselves. I believe every warrior woman needs someone to guide her because she's so powerful. She's so awesome, like yourself. You just didn't stay in that challenge, but you went to the Dunamis Women University. Now you're here at Dunamis Covenant Institute. Why you keep going? Why you keep going? Why you keep moving?
Well, for one, we're going to be very transparent.
Oh, most definitely. Right here. This is the podcast.
I came in, and the first time I paid in full, and I did nothing with it. I would listen, and then as I started to study, I became afraid of you. I ran because I had never had somebody to be so transparent with me and didn't judge me. So I ran when I had to do the story to the little girl.
Mm-hmm.
So in running, I ran back, I came back, and then I was doing the university. I was paying my monthly installments, and I would go through, and it would be 4 days in the mornings when I would do my lessons. And then the lessons would get to the point where they would shut down at a certain point. So when I was ready to study, I was stopped at a point. So I said, the retreat, the big gathering. At that point, me coming to the gathering was going to make a difference in whether or not I stayed or I just
Teeter-tottered around.
no, I was going to just leave because I was spending the monthly money and I wasn't participating. I wasn't doing what I was told to do.
So when did you realize that you needed to heal from the wounds of your mother? At what point?
The things that you're teaching me, they're confirmations.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why I can accept them from you.
Mm-hmm.
I can accept all the criticism, because if you don't accept constructive criticism, then that means you can't grow.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't, you have to look at yourself.
Mm-hmm.
You have to be truthful unto yourself. And when I came to the retreat, it was funny because I really didn't know anybody. I didn't even know my roommate, and I was still afraid after I got there. But I teetered around and and it came to the doors for DCI was open, and I went not knowing. Well, I had a little bit of money set aside, but I lived basically off of my Social Security. So I was afraid, and the Lord spoke to me and he says, I've never given you something to do, and I didn't make the preparations for that.
Mm-hmm.
So I teetered with Michelle, but Michelle, should I just pay it all up front? No, I don't want to pay it all up front because something may happen, because the closer I draw to God, the more I'm going to get in this.
You're going to get these wounds.
I'm going to get these wounds. These wounds going to be open.
Mm-hmm.
I've got something that's going to be stripped away. And how am I going to deal with it? So she told me that was the payment plan. So I said, okay. So I put my account to where I had the biggest of my money, so that was dedicated to Dunamis Woman to pay my monthly installments for my teaching. I take Dunamis Woman as to me being in college, being lack of education. I've always been a smart girl, but I dropped out of school my 12th year with only a semester to go. And I winged it through all of that.
Now, as a mother, I would have never let you do that. But at the end of the day, talk about the wounds of your mother. Because now here I am. You have asked me to be your spiritual mother. And we're going to get into that even more. Let's talk about a little bit of the wounds that you know you got to heal from. And we're going to go through those processes.
There's so many different wounds from my mom. Not that I would take anything from her, because she was my mom. And I was her oldest. She was 15 when she had me. And all I ever wanted my mom to do was to love me. My mom, I learned on in life as I went through the spiritual journey myself with them not knowing. I was always brought up in church. But my mom didn't know how to love me. And then there was a resentment from my biological mother, because my grandmother gave all of her daughters away. Somebody else raised them. And when I came along, my grandmother took to me. And I don't think that my mom didn't like it, or I chalk it up now as to that she didn't understand the spirits or the logistics of what was going on. So I became just radical. I lied, I stole, I did whatever it was. I was a little black girl that was poor and didn't know that I was poor, because they took care of us. My mom was city councilwoman at one point. She worked for Pratt Whitney Aircraft, and she gave me all of the material things. I learned how to cook from her. I learned how to sew. I learned how to do not only my hair, but my sister's hair and their hair. And she just gave me so much, and didn't realize how fast that she was growing me up. And as she raised me to be all of these other things than a little girl.
Was still wanting the love.
And all I wanted was her to love me. She would say it, but her actions
Well, you know what?
were not there.
And Alice, mind me asking how young you are?
I'm 63 years old.
And the little girl is still looking for the love of a mother. And it's okay. It's okay, because those are the wounds that so many women carry. Can I explain something to you, love?
Yes, ma'am.
I heard you say, and correct me if I'm got it inaccurately, because I heard you say that your mother's mother gave her children away. Am I correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And then here your mother has a beautiful daughter at 15 and don't know what to do because she didn't have someone lay a foundation and she had wounds. So now here the grandmother take up, which this is a pandemic within our Black community anyway, take up what the mother don't know how to do, and the grandmother comes and take you and love on you when you still have that void to say, I need the love from the one who carried me, the one who I heard her voice, understand her essence, because that's what happens when we carry our children in the womb. And so how could she give you what she never had? And so what we have a tendency to revert to, particularly as mothers, because we think this satisfies our children, is when we can give them the material things. We can teach them, and some still don't today, duties. We can give them the cars. Even children now daughters wants their mother's love, but they come and give them a car at 16. They don't need no car, they need your love. And God has kept you all these years that 15-year-old, 12-year-old, 10-year-old still can humbly say that at 63, I still need a mother's love. Those are the wounds. I don't know about you. I don't know what your story is. I don't know what you can say. But a lot of us as mothers are so busy going to work, getting the degrees, being the professional, making the money, saving other souls. And we're losing our own children because we're giving them the tangible. Describe the love that still has a wound that you need. The wound is saying, I still need love from a mother. And I'm honored.
Because I have children. Mm-hmm. And I thought that I was doing what was right because I didn't want to do the same things that my mom did. Well, I found out that it didn't work.
It didn't work.
Hey, so are you liking this episode? Matter of fact, are you loving this episode? If so, then we want you to tell us. I need you to like this episode right now. I need you to drop a comment and tell us what you are enjoying about this episode. But most importantly, I need you to subscribe to the YouTube channel, okay? Do not miss a beat of what's happening in the Healing for My Soul podcast. So you know what to do. Like so we know that you love it. Comment down below and tell us what you love about it. And then subscribe so you're never missing the episode that you truly cannot live without. Now, let's get back to your episode.
We don't know that until they grow up, though. We don't know that. You have discovered and found out that what she did give you, whether she was a city council or did whatever she did from a career standpoint, it didn't work.
But she also, there was a lot of things that I honestly held against my mom, and then I became bold enough to tell her. I was 15 and she made me have an abortion. I'm looking crazy, and to this day I talk to the baby's father, and she was just this real headstrong person, and it's her way, no way. And, that was okay to be cool sometime, but will you listen at me? Before I ever became pregnant, when I asked my mom, I'm in ninth grade. Look, guy is senior. Mom, I might need to get on some birth control pills. I ain't giving you no license to screw.
But you know what? Alice, it's not funny, but I'm laughing. You know why? Because that's all we know. Until we as women see, I'm not a mother, I'm a woman. I'm not a grandmother, I'm a woman. I'm not a sister, I'm a woman. And see, we lose sight of the woman and we define ourselves from all of these roles, but we don't understand the essence and the core of who we are as women, that because we do screw, I didn't say make love, screw, we now become a mother, but the little girl in her was still hurting. Can I say something to you?
Yes, ma'am.
Her pain, because she didn't want you to see repeat the same pain that she repeated. But her mother didn't sit down and tell her what to do. She didn't know how to tell her mother, or if her mother was available. I don't know, that I have these things going on the inside. I like little Joe over there, and Joe making me feel good on the emotional side. So the emotional side make me want to do the sexual side. Because we don't understand our emotions, because we suppress all this pain. We suppress the wounds that are there that's coming from generations before us. And so they never really taught us. This is why I'm very big with not only my natural daughters, but with my spiritual daughters, such as yourself, transparent. Ain't that what attracted you?
Yes, ma'am.
Real and raw.
Yes, ma'am.
Because we need that to tell our daughters. I could tell you right now, you could be horny as hell and you want to be like a squirrel on the tree. But at the end of the day, it's lawful, but is it going to be edifying for you? Because she didn't know how. And can I do one thing? Give me your hand. I apologize because she didn't know what to do. Alice, when I had mine, I didn't know what to do. When you had yours, you didn't know what to do.
And I still don't know.
And we don't. But healing gives us an awareness of ourselves. I could stand up on that pulpit and I could just quote you some scriptures and do all that. But unless I'm real with myself, didn't you just say that?
Yes, ma'am.
Women that are watching this healing podcast, some may turn me off, and that's okay. But the ones like yourself, because they want to be real. And whoever permitted us to be real, to say the wounds, even at 63 from my mother, is still there, because it's not she was a bad woman. She was a woman who was hurting. And when we all screw, we're going to get pregnant. But your life is ordained. My life is ordained. If you're watching this, your life is ordained. No matter what the situation is. And you hear, does that make sense?
Yes, ma'am.
And I got some mad respect for you, because there's so many 60s, 70s, 80s, 50s, 40s, 30s, 20s, 16s who have so much pride that they can't admit it. And I'm honored. I don't replace your mother. Is she deceased?
Yes, ma'am.
And I believe with every fiber of my being that our soul is speaking from the grave. My daughter needs healing. And God saw fit to choose me to stand in the gap for her, to be complimentary for her, to still give you what you need. Ain't that amazing?
Yes.
You're so silly. Ain't that amazing?
It's more than amazing, because I often say, you know, my mom died without talking to me. And then when she died, I got the call from my sister. I only have one sister. I'm the oldest. So it was 12 o'clock on a Wednesday. Okay, so by noon, I was in Florida, Delta landing in West Palm Beach. I still have yet to see my mom because it was the beginning of COVID.
Mm-hmm.
I went to go through her things. Things weren't there. It just became a whole lot. And at this point, for my family and those that are back home, because they deemed me to be so this and so that. And yeah, I did it, but I've come from crime to Christ, from junk to Jesus, from the mafia to the master.
Come on now.
I ain't out here screwing to get my bills paid. I don't know what love is. Need more and got to have made me do what it was that I had to do. And I wasn't messing with no broke man. I ain't care about him being somebody's husband. But yet I can stand today and say that I have been redeemed from wanting somebody else's man. Now, I've had to retract because I have destroyed a lot of men. I ask when they come at me, I'm just straight up raw gutter. What happened when the matter meet the pimp? Cause I'm a madam.
Yeah, right.
So you got to be able to match what it is you got to go.
But see, but let me give you some light on some of this, okay? Because I get it. I don't know if you get it, but I get it because I'm real with myself. Does that make sense?
Yes, ma'am.
I could be a pastor and a pimp at the same time if I chose to.
What you talking about?
Because a lot of pastors are pimps, but I ain't here to pimp you. You understand what I'm saying?
I ain't worried about that.
No, I ain't talking about you. I'm talking about everybody because people just don't keep it real with themselves. But at the end of the day, that's what it's saying to whoever. It's the warrior. See, a warrior got to be healed so she can know how to channel who she is. If not, you see, that's why you got so many unhealed pimps in the pulpit. And they call themselves pastors, and they may have the gift of that. I'm not knocking that. But at the end of the day, they're not healed in the depths of their soul. What you're speaking about right now is, first of all, recognizing your truth, but understanding that you could do the same thing, but you're going to do it as a warrior, not misusing nobody, but telling your story to attract some people because you understand the spirits that come with that. You understand the message that come with that. Does that make sense?
Yes, ma'am.
When I was running my child welfare agency, getting young men out of prison, the first time I quoted a scripture, they cussed me out. So I had to go into the depths of the abyss of my mind to say, oh, no, nigga, that ain't what's finna happen. Because when you try to be all phony and astute and trying to make it all right, you're not going to reach a masses of real people who are warriors. Does that make sense?
Yes, ma'am.
Alice, you got your wounds from your mother. But as I was stating in the first episode, how do we, you, all of us, particularly a Dunamis woman, we're taking our wounds and we're making them our weapons against the enemy because an enemy have done this. So your message now is a weapon. You being on this podcast right now, if she is touching your soul, if she is bringing some things up in your soul, just say, Alice, go ahead. Put it in the comment. I want to hear Alice, go ahead, because I had you here because all what's down on the inside of you, it cannot stay subdued. Can't nobody make you to be a little fluffy when you done been through all this stuff and you got all these wounds. Does that make sense?
Yes, ma'am.
And people will always judge you based upon your past, but I'm telling you, they don't know your future. We all got a story, and that story ain't pretty. We all got some stuff that we have done, and that story, I know I have because you don't never know what I got to do.
Ooh, what you talking about?
To feed my children. Does that make sense? They don't, when they sit down at that table as a mother, they didn't say, Ma, how did you get this food? They just sat down and ate. Does that make sense?
Yes, ma'am.
But they don't know if I use pain, pussy, or promises. I just had to get what I needed. Does that make sense? And you have a story on the inside of you. And I firmly believe that the wounds of your mother was given to you for you to make greater for your life.
I believe that because my mom didn't worry about me the way that she took and pampered and babied my sister. Because she always said that she knew that I would make it. Now, I got married at 17. 18, I gave birth to an 8-pound, 2-ounce boy after being beat the night before. And March 18, 1981, I got shot. He came on my job and shot me. Now, mind you, all before this, I done had a broke nose. I done been stepped on. I done been kicked down steps. And, Mom was like, no, okay, now this really getting to me. And after I took all of that, I went to work. I went to apply for a job with my nose in a rag. And he came on my job and he shot me. A bullet put 2 holes in my heart, 1 in my lung, 1 in my liver, 2 in my stomach, 1 across my hip, 1 in my right leg. I lived on the machine for 11 days. But to sit, to be, for my body to be laying on a bed and my spirit standing outside watching, and to be able to come back to my mama and ask her why you didn't pray for me to live. And then she told me, we was at it one day and the insurance policy would have paid triple indemnity. I don't know nothing about no insurance policy. And then to be told you was a bitch that couldn't even die right. Okay. Went on and on. I would battle with her and then it just got to a point where I left Florida. God told me, leave. And that was because he wanted me to depend on him.
And Alice, even what you're saying, and this is why you're here, because as your spiritual mother, we got work to do. We got work to do based upon not just your healing, but to bring you up. I'm here to spiritually raise you up, to be the warrior woman God made you to be. So we got some stuff we got for your stories. Does that make sense?
Yes,
I don't
ma'am.
believe in just teaching and having you all near to me just so I can give you a scripture, you stay the same. Because I believe where your pain is where your power is, and where your power is where your purpose is. And when you live your purpose, you're going to get paid a price for it. Don't limit yourself. But at the end of the day, for a mother to be able to say what she said, what you just shared, she was a wounded warrior that did not know how to minister healing to her daughter because she was not healed herself. And matter of fact, the reason why a lot of the things, and I'm just speaking from a clinical standpoint right now, a lot of things she said to you, love, is because you reminded her so much of herself.
Oh, my Jesus.
You reminded of herself. And daughter, show you yourself. This is why the enemy loves to keep dissension between mother and daughter, because daughters show you yourself, which is why healing is so important. I want all of you all to understand that you're a wounded warrior, but a wounded warrior rises up and uses all of her wounds as a weapon against the enemy. And what I am doing here, not only is this Healing for My Soul movement, but even in Dunamis Woman, is gathering an army of women who know how to go back into the prison state of people's mind, particularly your sons and your daughters that you birthed, that 8.2-pound child that came out of your womb. and to be able to win their souls. And I don't want you to say another thing because it's going to take you some work. This is why we are here. You all, I am so grateful. Put in the comments that you are grateful for having wounds of a mother, because those are the wounds that is your greatest weapon for success, for greatness, for purpose. You with me? Yeah.
Ready.
And to fight and to build your legacy. I am Pastor D, Dr. Dunamis D, and I'm so honored to be with you. Hey, y'all, come on through. Dunamis Woman Community. If you're on Facebook, come on and join this Dunamis Woman movement, because at the end of the day, it's people like Alice and it's people like you that God is going to use greatly. See you soon.
Forgive her, for she didn't know what she did. Forgive yourself, for you don't always know as a mother what you have done. But here today, you are here to make a change. You are here to move forward. You are here to be able to stand in who you are, because there is a nurturing that's within you that only comes through healing. And you are not only here to be able to heal yourself, but you are here to heal other daughters that are out here in this world who need your mothering love. A warrior woman is not just someone who is ready to fight. A warrior woman is not just someone who is ready to battle. A warrior woman is someone who is ready to accept the charge to be the nurturer of who God has created her to be. This is the time for you to not only nurture your own heart, but nurture your legacy. Let's continue this journey. You have 2 more episodes to go as we heal the wounds of warrior women. Don't give up. Let's lean in and let's stay the course.